Kaprobinsyaan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupit, kita pasisigil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong paghaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang kisap ng
Good afternoon, Dr. Manilin. Can you hear my voice?
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon. Yes, I can hear your voice clearly.
Okay, yeah. And good afternoon for all participants of the second session of International Lecture Series. We are still waiting for another speaker, which is who is Dr. Sukma Nur Adini to join this Zoom meeting. So at 1 sharp, we will start our session. We still have 5 minutes more. For the operator, Mbak Natasha, would you please play what's that? The March of Dimsu and March of Ukris. Hello, Mbak Natasha. Or probably the profile, video profile of Ukris and Dimsu. Thank you.
Dimsu at a glance. Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, or DIMSU, is the lone state university in La Union, Philippines. DIMSU was created through Presidential Decree 1778 on January 15, 1981 by former President Ferdinand E. Marcos. Founded on the philosophy, total human development with appropriate competencies, DIMSU was born from the merging of 5 former schools of La Union, namely Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State College at Bacnotan, La Union School of Arts and Trade at City of San Fernando, La Union, Community College of La Union at City of San Fernando, La Union, Southern Ilocos Polytechnic State College at Agoo, La Union, and Sapilang Elementary School at Bacnotan, La Union. The university has 3 major campuses, namely the North La Union Campus in Bacnotan, the Mid La Union Campus in San Fernando City, and the South La Union Campus, which is sprawled in the towns of Agoo, Santo Tomas, and Rosario, La Union. DIMSU also houses the Open University System, which is located in San Fernando City, La Union. DIMSU is the home of 2 national centers, the National Apiculture Research, Training and Development Institute, or NARTDI, and the Sericulture Research and Development Institute, or SRDI, anchored in 7 core values, namely service, productivity, excellence, commitment, innovativeness, advocacy, and leadership. DIMSU envisions to become a globally competitive university and is empowered to provide high-quality instruction, research, and extension. Its undiminished goal is to lead in transforming human resources into productive, self-reliant citizens and responsible leaders. Living with its mantra, embracing world-class standards, DIMSU is ISO certified. Through the strong leadership of the current president, Dr. Jaime E. Pacmanuel Jr., and the vice presidents, and the teamwork and commitment of all DIMSU personnel, DIMSU passed ISO 9001-2015 on November 19, 2020. The audit scope includes the provision of instruction, research, extension, and support services. Overall, 24 processes were audited. The ISO 9001-2015 certificate number 20.67.PH112906.00, originally approved on November 19, 2020, was issued on November 29. Further, on November 8 to 12, 2021, DIMSU passed the first surveillance audit and the certificate attesting that the university QMS conforms to the requirements of ISO 9001-2015, number 20.67.PH112906.01, was issued on November 29, 2021. As an affirmation of DIMSU's excellent systems in rewards and recognition, learning and development, and recruitment selection and performance management, the Philippine Civil Service Commission, or CSC, conferred DIMSU with certificates of recognition. These implies that the three systems have reached maturity level 2. Also, DIMSU's North La Union campus passed the Institutional Sustainability Assessment by the Commission on Higher Education. DIMSU has 109 academic programs broken down into 13 doctorate degree programs, 31 master's degree programs, 58 baccalaureate degree programs, and 7 diploma or certificate programs. In addition, the university boasts of 20 academic programs that have been re-accredited to Level 4 status by the Accrediting Agency of Chartered Colleges and Universities of the Philippines, or AACCUP. These programs are BS Agroforestry, Bachelor of Elementary Education, BS Agribusiness Management, BS in Environmental Science, BS in Information Systems, PhD in Technological Education Management, MA in Technology Education, PhD in Development Administration, MDA Majors in Business Administration and Public Administration, BS Industrial Technology, BS in Hospitality Management, BS in Business Administration, PhD Science Education, MA in Science Education, MA in Mathematics Education, MA in Teaching Music, MA in Guidance and Counseling, BS Mathematics, BS Biology, BS Computer Science. Likewise, 18 programs are Level 3 re-accredited, 15 are Level 2 re-accredited, and 22 are Level 1 accredited. New program offerings have also been subjected to preliminary survey visit for the assessment of their readiness for accreditation. Because of DIMSU's rigorous engagement in accreditation endeavors, DIMSU was recognized by AACCUP as top 1 in the highest number of Level 4 accredited programs in 2020, top 2 in the highest number of Level 3 accredited programs in 2020, top 3 in the highest number of Level 4 accredited programs in 2019, and top 3 in the highest number of Level 1 accredited programs in 2021. Moreover, the colleges of education, information technology, and computer science are recognized by the Commission on Higher Education as centers of development. DIMSU implements strong programs for faculty, staff, and student development. It initiates numerous trainings to upskill and cross-skill, and to equip and empower its 577 faculty members and 514 non-teaching personnel. To provide a quality environment and to ensure quality processes, DIMSU continues to build state-of-the-art infrastructure projects equipped with cutting-edge tools, equipment, and machineries. In fact, DIMSU is already gearing towards becoming a smart university. As a result of quality curriculum, quality processes, and quality academic environment, DIMSU has been producing quality graduates who are among the most preferred graduates in the Philippines and abroad. What's more, DIMSU maintains excellent performances in various licensure examinations. In fact, DIMSU ratings in licensure examinations are much higher than that of the national passing rates. For the past several years, DIMSU has produced top-notchers in national board examinations in the fields of mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, agriculture, fisheries, agricultural engineering, veterinary medicine, forestry, teacher education, psychology, guidance and counseling, midwifery, and master electrician. What's more, as surveyed by the Commission on Higher Education in 2001, DIMSU ranked among the top 10 higher education institutions in the Philippines and 7th among the more than 1,000 private and public colleges and universities in the Philippines. Areas evaluated were faculty, student admission, library, academic offerings, research and extension. JIMSU was also listed in the CHED 2011 to 2016 Roadmap for Public Higher Education Reform as one of the 19 leading state universities and colleges in the Philippines. As for research, JIMSU's research program is one of the biggest programs in Northern Luzon in terms of the number of ongoing research undertaken and budget allocation. Its research commodities include fiber crops, fruit crops, beef and chevin, pork, orchids, bamboo, agroforestry, poultry, agricultural engineering, farming system, applied rural sociology, macroeconomics, purple yam, bananas, sericulture, and apiculture. In fact, JIMSU has recently been named by DOST PCAARRD as top intellectual property filer. Meanwhile, extension programs of the university are anchored in commodity-based services that create an impact on the life of the clientele in terms of productivity, profitability, and services for the enhancement of local government and non-government organizations. JIMSU Techno Pinoy, also known as Farmers Information and Technology Services or FITS, has been named by the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development as one of the country's active and functional centers. Kapihan sa JIMSU, an extension program which is aired online, has also been reaching thousands of clientele. Acknowledged for its distinct competence, expertise, and resources, JIMSU is home to a number of special projects. These include the Sericulture Research and Development Institute, or SRDI, the National Apiculture Research, Training and Development Institute, or NARTDI, Fisheries Research and Training Institute, or FRTI, JIMSU Pig Extension and Research Farm, or DPERF, and the Philippine Carabao Center, or PCC. The affiliated Non-Conventional Energy Center, the Metal Crafts and Innovation Center, and the Agri-Aqua Technology Incubation Center. At present, the university is sprawled on a 1,120-hectare land area, cozily splintered in 7 major units. The Central Administration, the National Apiculture Research, Training and Development Institute, the Sericulture Research and Development Institute, the North La Union Campus, the Mid La Union Campus, the South La Union Campus, and the Open University System. True to its goal of transforming human resources into productive, self-reliant citizens and responsible leaders, JIMSU takes pride in its commitment in fulfilling its vital role in the country's national development.
Universitas PGRI Semarang is located in the culturally strong Semarang City, Central Java Province, Indonesia. With these features, Semarang is a potential place for students to develop themselves. The spirit that drives Universitas PGRI Semarang is nationalism and religiosity. Nationalism is the spirit to unite the nation in the midst of culture differences. We have 7 faculties consist of Faculty of Education. This faculty is the oldest faculty at our campus with the largest number of students. It has 3 study programs: the Guidance and Counseling Study Program, Elementary School Teacher Education, and Early Childhood Development Teacher Education. Faculty of Social Science and Sports Education. There are several points that become our focus in this faculty. First, the value of humanism as national identity. Second, physical health as a support for quality education. Third, the understanding of economic values as a pillar of human civilization. This faculty has 3 study programs: Pancasila and Citizenship Civil Education, Physical and Recreational Education, and Economic Education. Faculty of Language and Arts. This faculty provides education to generate language and art educators with pedagogical personnel, social and professional competence and competitive abilities in dealing with the current age development in order to develop themselves into professionals such as translator, newscasters, or journalists by making use of their language and artistic skills. This faculty has 3 study programs: Indonesian language and literature education, English education, regional language and literature education, Javanese language. Faculty of Mathematics, Science, and Information Technology Education. This faculty has study programs of mathematics education, biology education, physics education, and information technology education. The vision of this faculty is to be an excellent and distinguished faculty of mathematics, natural science, and information technology education by 2025. Faculty of Engineering and Informatics, established on April 17, 2014. This faculty has 6 study programs, namely Architecture, Mechanical Engineering, Civil Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Informatics, and Food Technology. Faculty of Economic and Business. This faculty has a mission to be a faculty of economics and business that excels in the field of digital-based, creative economics and business with a distinctive identity. Faculty of Law. The Faculty of Law of University of PGRI Semarang is committed to develop legal knowledge, and this is done, among others, by organizing seminars, discussions, comparative studies, and field experience practices. In order to support the teaching and learning activities, we have 4 complexes of campuses. Campus 1, located at Jalan Dr. Cipto, Jalan Lontar. This campus consists of representative and modern buildings for teaching and learning activities. This campus consists of central building, main building, student activity center, library, graduate program building, as well as a representative auditorium meeting hall for national class concerts and international seminars. Campus 2, located at Jalan Sriwijaya. This campus has a hotel available for both students and public in general, as well as a large meeting room for teacher professional training programs and various other large-scale meetings. Campus 3, located at Jalan Bendan Duo. This campus has a building for students' practices, especially mechanical and electrical engineering department students. This campus supports various activities to increase electrical, mechanical, and architecture skills. Campus 4, located at Jalan Gajah. This campus has a teaching learning building complex and sports centers including basketball, badminton, futsal, and other athletic sports activities. This campus also has a dormitory building provided for students, as well as a high school laboratory school, which was established by the Universitas PGRI Semarang. Why do you have to choose UGRIS as a place to study? We realize the importance of international relations to connect the discourse currently developing in the international world. This is where we establish a collaboration to open up opportunities for career later through students and lecture exchanges, credit transfer and double degree program, joint internship and research, and publication with our reputable university partners. We believe that in our fast-paced and competitive world, there are basic competencies every young generation has to possess, namely excellence and distinction. Excellence in either emotional and spiritual intelligence and the ability to retain the personality as a cultured human being. Please join UGRIS.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dear speakers,
Masuk semua.
dear colleagues, and then dear participants
Oh,
of
insya Allah ini.
second session of the International Lecture Series. Yeah, actually, it is the collaboration between Universitas PGRI Semarang and Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University. On behalf of the Director of UPRI's International Office, I'm Siti Sofia. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you for taking the time to attend this event. It gives me a great pleasure to be the moderator for this event, and I'm excited to be hosting it. In this session, we have an exciting panel of speakers lined up for today, and we hope that you will find their presentations and discussions informative and engaging. The first presentation will be delivered by Dr. Manilin R. Kakanindin, and continued by Ibu Dr. Sukma Nur Ardini SSMPD. And then each speaker will present a topic for about 45 minutes. After both presentation, it will be continued by question and answer session. And for the question and answer session, the participants can write down the question on the chat box, or you can directly asking question by clicking the button of raise hand. Before I call upon the first speaker, I would like to tell you about her curriculum vitae. The first speaker is Dr. Manilin R. Kakanindin, and then she has the teaching experience from 2016 up to present. And then for her educational attainment, he got her doctoral degree as a Doctor of Philosophy in Language Education in 2020. And then after that, she also joining many conventions, conferences, trainings, seminars, workshops, forum, and colloquium. And actually, her major is in English language, and then it will have the relation with her topic today that she will deliver, that is about the language of New Age media. Okay, now I will invite Dr. Manilin Kakanindin to deliver the topic, the language of New Age media, for about 45 minutes. Okay, please.
Thank you, Ma'am Sisi. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes, you can.
Thank you. May I just share my screen? Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can see my presentation. Okay, so for this afternoon, I will be sharing a bit of information about the language of New Age media. The sharing or this sharing of the language of New Age media will be focused on the perspective of language people or linguists or people who study language. So I hope it would be okay with everyone if we will be discussing theories and different concepts regarding the language of New Age media. Now, our roadmap for this 45-minute presentation will begin with a definition of what new media is or New Age media is. I believe that our students are very much acquainted and they have a lot of experience. Actually, the experience is every day. We definitely use the new media every day in education, in entertainment, and in other forms of communication. And then we also have, we also have audience interaction and participation as part of the discussion. Who are the audience we are referring to? What kind of interaction takes place in the use of the new media? And what participation do we provide? Who are we in the interaction? And then we also have, this is a very important, or these are very important concepts, the truth. We also have the term post-truth. So how is post-truth different from the truth? And of course, we also have the observation of the lies. And the last topic that we'll be discussing later would be the offensive language and the tactics used in, or the tactics of resistance. How do we actually filter what the communication that we receive through the new media? Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 topics that we will be discussing this afternoon. So let's first have one clear, united definition of new media. I believe that you already know this and you experience this already. So these new media are any media coming from newspaper articles and blogs to music and podcasts. Huh? Isn't that print media? It is not print media because it's delivered digitally. Okay, so these forms of media are delivered digitally from a website or through the use of an email to mobile phones, our mobile phones, through the streaming apps that we are using. And actually, any internet-related form of communication can be considered as new media. So now let's reflect. Are we familiar with new media? Do we experience new media? Definitely, even at this moment, we are using new media. So this would be the topic that we'll be talking about this afternoon. Our discussion will be revolving on our experiences in new media. Now let's talk about new media as a resource of communication. Is it a resource of communication? What is our definition again of communication? This is when we send and receive messages. So in this part, we'll be talking about how we use new media to send or receive messages or information through communication. Okay, so new media as a resource of communication, it is a wide or it is a very good resource of communication actually because it has a wide range of content. Does it have a wide range of content? Yes, it doesn't limit or it is not limited to one specific topic only. It's not limited to one language only. It's not limited to one discipline only. It has a wide range of content and with a wide range of function as well. A while ago, I said at this time, we're actually using new media. And this is one function of new media to inform people. So we are now using the new media to inform our students. We are having a discourse actually about new media. Other functions of new media as a source of communication would be to entertain people. This is what we usually like to do with the use of new media. After our work, we watch Netflix, or when we go to work, we use Spotify, or when we try to connect with our friends, we use Messenger or other forms of messaging. And it also is used formally, okay, as or to lecture students. It is used in education. It was formally a part of the education, especially during the pandemic. New media is greatly used during the pandemic. May it be in entertainment, may it be in giving information, but especially in providing lectures to students. And there is another one that is also a very important characteristic of new media, which is its persuading skills. New media has a great persuading skills. We change our mind when we see something that is more beautiful in new media, or we evaluate the information that we also have with the use of new media. So it has the power of persuasion. And new media, well, please, I think my colleague there. Okay, new media, comparing it to the common communication or type of communication or face-to-face communication that we usually use, or comparing it to texts or language or books that we use as resource of communication. What makes it different is that first, it is multimodal. So when we say it is multimodal, it is combined or it combines the language or the text with visual communication and sound. So do we have visual communication right now? You can see my screen. We are actually having a visual communication. You can see what I can see. I am showing you what I would like you to see. And you can hear me as well with the use of its audio. Comparing it to a book or printed magazine, there are some limitations that these prints are not able to provide us or to provide the readers or the viewers, which is very advantageous for new media. Another characteristic of new media is it is non-linear. When we say it is non-linear, it combines spatial and temporal characteristics, okay, or spatial and temporal patterns. When I say spatial, it's referring to space. So most of our students, most of our audience at this time are coming from, or many of our students at this time are coming from Indonesia. You're very far, you are in another country. There are also students coming from the Philippines. I am coming from the Philippines, but we defy that. That is not a problem. Our physical distance is not a problem because of the new media. So that's the meaning of spatial pattern. We can also go back and watch past videos or old videos, or we can also watch like live streams coming from other countries, even if we are from another place. That's the meaning of spatial. For temporal patterns, this is focused on time. Okay, it's focused on time. We have different time right now in Indonesia and in the Philippines, but we are able to meet and talk and have this lecture through new media. We can also watch, like, let's compare this to television shows. Most of the time, or in the Philippines, if you're watching through a television, there are specific or certain times that you can only watch a specific television show. But with the use of new media, you can watch whatever, whenever you like it. So that's another characteristic that's non-linear. And the third one, the third characteristic that makes new media very different from the language that we are using or from the usual form of communication that we are using is that new media is new indeed. Okay, it hasn't lived as long as the language has been existing. Okay, it's very new. It's almost the same as our age. Like when we're born, there's a time that new media was also born. So that's another characteristic. It's not as old as the other language that we are actually using, the other language that we were born with already. So these are the three characteristics of new media as a resource of communication. If you have observed multimodality, non-linearity, and being new, then that means what you're using, what you're experiencing is the new media. Now let's go to the rest of the characteristics of new media. I hope you're looking at the screen. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other characteristics. We start with digital. Obviously, new media is digital. So here are its characteristics. It allows technological convergence. We can use new media through our cell phones. We can use our experience new media through our desktops. We can use new media through our laptops, or we can use new media through our iPads or other gadgets. So it allows technological convergence. It also allows technological improvement. Actually, new media is always ever changing. There is always development. There is always something new. When we go to the new media that we are using, there's always an update. Correct? Have you updated your laptops already? Have you updated your cell phones already? Have you updated the pages that you have subscribed to? Okay, so that is technological convergence. It also allows small storage and rapid communication. So when you say small storage and rapid communication, we could make use of Messenger as an example. In our messengers, we actually send pictures, short videos, and messages to our friends or to our co-workers. Rapid communication without the need to meet face to face. Okay, so that is digital, and it is the opposite of analog. The second characteristic is its interactivity. If we refer to other or older media, most of the time it's just one way. We receive the information, we get the information, but we cannot or we do not give feedback. We are not allowed to give feedback. Or the person that is training or the film that is being shown doesn't receive our feedback. That is for the old media. But now for the new media, because of its interactivity, we are actually able to participate. It actually advocates participatory culture. So we experience other people's culture, other people experience our cultures. How is that? Through the giving of our feedback. How do you think did K-pop become famous? How do these people from other countries become known to another country? How do we know, let's say, the films or series from other countries? That is through the new media or our use of the new media. And how do they actually know that their films, their shows are being liked by other people? Through our participation, by liking, by following, or by giving our comments, or by giving hearts, or by posting as well, or sharing their videos actually. So that is one characteristic, that's interactivity. It's also hypertextual. When we say it's hypertextual, it's not the very common first page, second page, third page. No, it allows people to have more freedom of choice. I would like to skip. Okay, I would like to move to the middle of this video, or I would like to check the end of this video. It gives us the freedom to choose, like, and through Spotify, for example, when we listen to music, I want to change the music that I am listening to, because in radios, you cannot control that, correct? You cannot control that. But through the use or in new media, we are allowed to choose what music we would like to listen to, what video we would like to watch. So that's hypertextuality. And then we also have its virtual ability. Definitely, it's very opposite to the face-to-face reality, and it's also much faster in pacing. And because of that, this can actually be a challenge to new media, because it vies for more and more attention. That's why right now we already have the short clips, short videos, okay, because they are trying to really control our attention as audiences. They're trying to let us think in using that new media. And it also, or people present only, would you agree with this? People present only favorable sides of themselves, or maybe we could reword it to what we see in the new media most of the time are the favorable sides of people, the positive sides of people, because it's not face to face. You do not, or our view is limited. Okay, in other words. So that's virtual. For networking is also one characteristic of new media. It allows us, just like this diagram, you can see there the spreading of the vines or the stems of the new media. So that's also networking. It asks or allows more collaboration and more collective intelligence. We share our thoughts, we share our opinions, we share our ideas through new media. And definitely, this is a very obvious characteristic. It is global in scope. So that's why we are able to hear news or information about a country that is very far from us. That is through networking. But there is also the pressure and the question of power and networks. What new media is more influential or what new media is more powerful? That's networking. And the last one is it's simulated. This is what I would like you to think about. And this is what I would like you to always realize when we use new media. It is just a simulation. It is not as real as the face-to-face communication. It is not as real as the physical communication. Everything is virtual, okay? And everything is based on algorithms. When you look at the dictionary, you will see there that the definition of simulation is artificial, something that is fake, something that is not real. Okay, so this would be a good reminder to us that new media, yes, we get a lot of advantages from new media, but we always have to remember that it is just virtual and it is also simulated. Okay, it is controlled by algorithms. So these are the main characteristics of new media. Now let's jump to the next topic, our participation as audience, the interaction that we experience, and the participation of the different roles involved in new media. Okay, so here we'll be focusing on the use of new media to communicate with each other. Definitely, we have the advantage of reaching out to people who are not with us physically. We have the advantage of calling, our loved ones, our relatives from other countries. We are able to communicate and make friends with the use of new media. And it is also in a bigger spectrum or in a bigger view, in a more general view, it is actually a social interaction. Would you agree that the use of the new media is a social interaction? How is it a social interaction? Check. Are you sending a message to another person? Are you receiving a message to another person? If you're watching, is someone sending you a message? Are you trying to be in a communication? So would you agree that media is a form of a social interaction? Okay, and the kinds of roles and responsibilities in this communication. So it doesn't mean that we're able to express ourselves, we are able to share our thoughts. We are free to share whatever already. There are also the certain roles and very importantly, certain responsibilities in the form of new media communication that we are undertaking. Let's focus first on the types of audience. Where are we? What kind of audience are we? Who are the audiences? Let's see if you're actually a part or you're actually a type of an audience. So these audiences are the groups of people for whom messages are intended. So for a specific page or website or site, okay, there are certain characteristics of people that they are targeting. There are certain types of people that they would like to watch or read or listen to what they are offering. They are also a representation or a source of revenue. they represent a source of revenue. So, ma'am, would you say that new media is related to business? I would like you to reflect on that later. Could new media be related to business? Is it business? So in some books, they actually identify audiences as a source of revenue. Have you ever watched, or when you watch YouTube, for example, what do you observe at the beginning of or before the video begins? There are advertisements. And these advertisements, of course, sustain or help the site that you're watching be maintained. Okay, so that's just a simple example or explanation that audiences are a representation of a source of revenue. And they are also the most important factors determining media content. So whatever is placed in a specific site, whatever is being delivered, whatever is being offered, who determines that? It's the audience. The audience has the power to determine which or what media content must be delivered. Do you agree with that? Do we agree with that? That it's the audience who decides what media or what new media actually produces? Okay. Now let's have the types of audiences. Okay, we have the first one. These are the addressees. These addressees are the target audiences. So I would say, I have this site, I have this page, and this is the type of audience that I would like to watch. Okay, so they are the addressees. And then we have another one. We also have the editors. By the way, the addressees By the way, the addressees are known by the producers of the new media. The addressees are acknowledged by the producers of that new media, and the addressees are identified. Different with auditors, these auditors are also known. They are also ratified, they are also acknowledged, but they are not addressed. Okay, the video, the products, or the music is not for them. But these producers know that they have auditors, they have evaluators, they check what is being produced. In the Philippines, we also have this. We have what we call MTRC, just for an example. We have an organization checks, who filters, who evaluates what should be streamed and what should not be streamed. So they are very good examples of auditors. And then we also have overhearers. Okay, these overhearers, they're identified, but they are not addressed, and they are also not acknowledged. But we know that they're there. These are just the people who are not really interested in what we produce in the new media, but we know that they're there. They may have heard about it, they may have heard about the information, they may have heard about the product, but they are not interested, but they know it, and they are also known. And we also have what we call the eavesdroppers. These eavesdroppers are unaddressed. Okay, so that's the opposite of addressed. They're also unratified, they are not acknowledged, and they are unknown. We just know that there are other people, but maybe they haven't heard about our page, or maybe they haven't seen our site, or maybe they don't know about us as new media. So these are the types of audiences. And now let's go to audience segmentation. So if we have those types of audiences, we have the eavesdroppers. They haven't even heard about us. They are unknown. Who are they? Or if we have overhearers, can overhearers actually become addressers or addressees, I should say? Can overhearers or can auditors also be our addressees? Because they may be potential addressees. So we have the audience segmentation. This is how producers of new media target, select, pick, and look for their audience. We have the identification of their demographics. So if I am, for example, an owner of a website or a streaming company or networking company, I would like to have a specific audience. I will be using this audience segmentation first. I have to identify what age bracket. What age bracket is the target? Are you targeting children? Are you targeting college students? Are you targeting high school students or are you targeting professionals? Okay, are you more on male perspectives or are you more on the preference of women? Okay, so that is for the demographics. So identify or new media identifies who or what are the characteristics of their target audience. Another audience segmentation is in the form of psychographic segmentation. Here, the producer identifies the social class, the lifestyle, the attitudes of the target audience. Like, are you a party person? Or are you the nerdy type? Do you like reading? What are your hobbies? What's your lifestyle? What's your taste in when it comes to art? So that is using psychographic segmentation. Another form of segmentation is behavioral segmentation. Here, the producers would see if you are loyal in a website. How loyal are you in the subscription that you are using? Or what is the maximum? How many hours do you, for example, stay in that streaming? How many hours is your website user? So they evaluate, they assess the actions and the behaviors of the audience. And finally, we have geographical. Definitely, even if new media or new age media is global, there are still certain places or certain continents that are in the limit of the reach of the new media. So these producers can study, can identify where are our viewers coming from. In what countries are they usually coming from? For example, Facebook. You know that Philippines is one of the highest user of Facebook. So there could be a reason behind that, or it may be presenting, some behavioral or psychographic characteristics of the audience. So this is audience segmentation. Okay, the participation of the audience. Now let's go to the interaction. Here, I'll be discussing or sharing three theories that are actually presenting ideas on new media or media in general. We have the culture industry. When we refer to the culture industry, we think of Theodore Adorno. That is his theory together with Mark Horkheimer. Okay, so culture industry describes how media produce certain standards of taste and desire for certain kinds of content to make them buy consumer products. So culture industry is one method, most of the time, of course, of business or companies, they would study what are the things that these people like. And they can now control what to like. They can now control what standards to like. They can now control the taste, what is beautiful to them, what is art to them. And they can now control what people will desire. I believe that having the word trendy, for example, can be very much used here in the culture industry. People, it may be the young ones, it may also be the older ones, we always look at or we always look for what is trendy, what is new, what do people like actually at this time. So that is one strategy of new media specifically in their ways of making people like something the same or similar or identifying kind of taste should you have as an audience. There's another one, the false identity of universal and particular. The idea of false identity of universal and particular actually or mass culture already has no need to present themselves as art. Before, we would say, oh, this film production is art, this presentation is art, this song is art. But now, they openly and directly show themselves already as forms of businesses. Okay, so it would always go back to consumerism, to capitalism. But I'm not the one saying that. It's the false identity of universal and particular idea. And then the third one is standardization. Standardization may be quite similar to culture industry because standardization would be providing something that is produced using the mass production and the use of standard products. As its definition, it is said that it can be a cycle of manipulation. Why is it considered as a cycle of manipulation? Because it's what everybody is using. That is not the standard. Even if, let's say, for example, you prefer the older version of that item or the older version of that product, because of standardization, they are now obsolete. We change. As we said a while ago, new media is always new, okay, or it is new. So standardization also scraps the old ideas and look for something that is relevant at this time and something that could be produced to many or to almost everyone. That is standardization. Now let's go to the idea of participation. Let us see if we actually have influencers here. Do we actually have people? Are you able to influence other people through the use of new media? How much are we influenced? How much are our ideas affected by what we see or what we hear in the new media? So we have this social influence. So when we say social influence, this is the process where it may be a person or it may be a film or it may be some deeds that would influence or affect other people's decisions, actions, and attitudes. So that's the idea of social influence. It also includes patterns of persuasion. May also include a pattern of coercion. Are you forced to subscribe? Like when, for example, you're just trying to read an article, but before you can continue the article, you have to subscribe first. I think that's a very good example of coercion. And then we also have competition and expertise.
Excuse
So
me,
that
Dr.
is-
Manilin.
Yes, ma'am.
You still have 5 minutes left to present your topic.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank
Thank you
you.
so much, ma'am. Yeah. So going back to social influence, we also have the opinion leaders. These people, they are the people who affect how other people think, or yeah, they can change how a people behave or think. And the last one is the online networks. How many relationships are we able to build? Okay, now for the market of attention for the new media, especially when it's related to business, their aim is to influence your behavior, our behavior. Their aim is to make us buy, for example. Okay, and there is also the idea that no persuasion happens if no one is listening or reading or watching, which is true. And attention is very important. Attention is the key. Attention is also the portal to people's minds. Okay, and then we also have these ideas, truth. Something may be true depending on its correspondence. Is it evident? Depending on the structure of the sentence, is it true based on the sentence? Or is it true pragmatically, basing it on its use? We also have the idea of post-truth. Post-truth means we are carried away, or we let our emotions control us without anymore being rational, or without anymore considering what are the facts. Okay, and then we also have these 7 types of mis and disinformation, which is actually available. You can see this online, just like the 7 types of mis and disinformation. I would just like to remind you that not everything that we see, especially in the new media, could be considered as true. And we have organizations that actually regulate, how language is produced, how communication is produced. We also have the ideas of our attitudes towards offensive language in television and film. Only us can actually control what we receive. Only us can actually filter what we receive from the new media. Okay, that's why we have here the self-regulation, and definitely media itself is making its way to regulate what we also receive as communication in the new media. And that would be all for my presentation. Thank you so much and good afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Manilin, for sharing such valuable insights on the topic, the language of new age media. So what I can conclude from your presentation, that is the new language has some characteristics, especially the one about digital type. And then there are 3 aspects that are related to the understanding of the new age language. They are the audience, interaction, and participations. And then for the students of English language teaching education, the implication is that you have to possess the mastery of the vocabulary to teach to your students. So your students can help their English learners not only understand, but also produce this particular kind of language. Okay, thank you, Dr. Manilin. Now we will move forward to our next speaker, who will continue discussing the topic that is about phonological awareness and digital literacy. Before we welcome Ibu Dr. Sukma, I will share her curriculum vitae. Her name is Dr. Sukma Nur Ardini, SS MPD, and then she is graduated from Universitas Negeri Semarang. She got her doctoral degree in 2020, and then she got grants in researches within the last 5 years, which is from internal of UKRIS and then from the government. After that, she also got the grant in the community service within the last 5 years, from 2017 up to now, 2023. And she also had many publications from 2017 up to now, 2020, up to 2022. Okay, it seems that she has a lot of, she's productive. She produced many researches, articles. Okay, without waiting any longer, we will listen. We will Bu Sukma's presentation. Okay, please welcome Dr. Sukma Nur Ardini, SS MPD.
Yeah,
Please, Bu
thank
Sukma.
you.
Thank you, moderator, Ma'am Cici. And I would like to send my congratulations to Dr. Min. What a very informative presentation you had. Thank you very much. I also learned from you. And okay, let me share the screen first. All right. Ma'am Cici, can you see my slides?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to all the committee, colleges, and participants in collaboration between Universitas PGRI Semarang, Indonesia, and Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University, the Philippines, in the event of International Lecture Series. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And in this wonderful event, I would like to share one crucial issue that remains in teaching phonology, which is my teaching area, teaching focus, in teaching phonology, and that is how to effectively teach phonological awareness to students, and how can digital literacy relate to phonological awareness in language teaching atmosphere, mostly in the implementation of the latest curriculum in Indonesia and in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, or 4.0. All right, phonological awareness is a key concept in the field of language and literacy development. And there are many experts who have contributed to the understanding of phonological awareness and its role in reading and writing development. These experts have helped to shape our understanding and how phonological awareness develops and how it can be effectively assessed and taught. Also, how it interacts with other components of reading and writing. Let me go first with Kilpatrick, 2015. According to Kilpatrick, phonological awareness is the ability to attend and manipulate the sounds of language. This includes the ability to segment words into their individual sounds or phoneme, blend sounds together to form words, and manipulate sounds within word, or such as substitute one sound for another. David Kilpatrick is an expert, if I can say, in the field of reading development, and has written extensively on the role of phonological awareness in reading acquisition. His book is very famous, Essentials of Assessing, Preventing, and Overcoming Reading Difficulties. Kilpatrick emphasizes in this book the importance of phonological awareness and its relationship of reading development. The second expert, we go with Catherine Snow, 2001. She also published her book entitled Reading for Understanding. This is very famous as well. Reading for Understanding toward an R&D program in reading comprehension. She defines phonological awareness as the ability to detect, manipulate, or analyze the sound structure of words independent of their meanings. Snow here emphasizes that phonological awareness is a crucial component of early literacy development, as it provides the foundation for decoding and word recognition skills. So, compared to Kilpatrick, Snow here come up and emphasize with the foundation of decoding and word recognition skills. And the third expert is Isabel Beck,
2013. She is a prominent researcher in the field of reading development and has contributed significantly to our understanding of phonological awareness. In her book entitled Bringing Words to Life, Robust Vocabulary Instruction, she defines phonological awareness as the ability to identify and manipulate the sounds of language in spoken words. Beck also notes that phonological awareness is a skill that can be developed through explicit instruction and practice, and that is closely related to other key reading skills such as decoding and word recognition, the same as Catherine Snow. And the last expert I would come up with Dr. Lucia Motz. She is a renowned expert in the field of literacy development and has made significant contribution to our understanding of phonological awareness. According to her, phonological awareness is the conscious awareness of the sound structure of language, including the ability to perceive and manipulate the sounds of spoken words. Most emphasizes that phonological awareness is a crucial component in early literacy development as it provides the foundation for decoding and word recognition skills. So, why is phonological awareness important? Seeing from the previous slides that it always relates to decoding, and then reading skill, and about sound and phoneme, So why is phonological awareness important? I got 5 points in here. So the reason is because the phonological awareness is the foundational skill for reading, because it explaining how sound works in different ways in a word. And phonological awareness is the ability to blend and segment phonemes, predict reading skills, again, reading, and then ability to identify and distinguish between sounds in a word. All right, so we can say that by reading this slide, it is important to have phonological awareness since it is a foundational skill for literacy development. All right, now in this slide, we see that phonological awareness is in fact an umbrella term, and then all the different subsets of the phonological awareness are underneath as the raindrops here. Here is the umbrella, and then here are the raindrops. So we're going to just go through and talk about each of the subsets of phonological awareness. And they begin over here from the first, my left side, and then here, this part is the most simplistic. And we go to the right side to the most complex over here. Okay, I will explain it one by one. So we'll start here with word awareness. I usually ask students to be able to listen to a sentence and break the sentence up into individual words. So this is something that usually I do in the beginning of semester. So I will ask the students to identify and count how many words in the sentence. So if they can hear the sun is hot, when I say the sun is hot, so they can hear it consists of 4 different separated words. What are they? 4. What are they? The sun is hot. All right. And that will be this part. It's called word awareness. And then we move to the rhyme awareness or N, alliteration. So let's talk about rhyme awareness first. So when we talk about the rhyme, we're talking about the vowel and what comes after the vowel. So in the rhyme, in the sun, here I got sun and bun. So the rhyme will be on n, and the bun, in the word bun, the rhyme also is on n sound. So we would say that this word has rhyme, both words sun and bun is rhyming since they have the same rhyming unit. Now we talk about alliteration. Okay, we're talking about the same initial sound or the same beginning sound. So I got here the word funny and friend. They both start with a f sound. So that will be an example of alliteration since they both have the same beginning sound. Now we move on to syllable awareness. Now, this is the first time we really ask the students to break words apart. This one is quite difficult for my students. So they need to break words apart into syllables. And we start with compound words to make it easier for the students. We start with, for example, here I got cow and boy. Yeah, if they can hear that those are individual words, two separate words, boy and cow, or cow and boy, and then when we put them together, it becomes cowboy. Yeah, it's much easier to start with compound words. And then I got another, yeah, not the compound word. Here I got planet. Yeah. What if we ask the students to break the word planet into two syllables? Yeah, that will be hard for my students since they know that this is one word, different from cowboy. Yeah. And then we will find that the first syllable will be plan. Yeah. And the second syllable will be at planet. All right. And then we're going to move on the onset rhyme awareness, number 4 from the left side. So the onset rhyme awareness of a word is just the beginning sound. So in the word back, I got the word back there. And then in the word back is the onset. And then as we said before, the rhyme unit will be the act card. Yeah, act card in the vowel and what comes after, that vowels. So back, the onset of back is back, and the rhyme of the word back is act. So the student will break the word into the onset and the rhyme. Sometimes the onset might be a blend. For example, I got another word which is harder, way harder for my students. For example, here train. So the onset might be blend. For example, t and together say turn. So that would be the onset, and then a sound, a diphthong, and then sound says a. And that will be the rhyme. So if the students were asked to break up train into the onset and the rhyme, it would be terrain, terrain, that way. And this is the first time at this level where the students are taking one syllable words and starting to break it apart and then gets them ready for what they're going to be doing next. And what will be the next? The next is phoneme awareness. And this is the most complex among all of the phonological awareness skills. And typically the phoneme awareness is where many students end up struggling and having some difficulties. All right, to discuss what phoneme awareness, let's discuss what a phoneme first. What is phoneme? Phoneme. Anybody knows? All right, I will help you out. A phoneme is simply the smallest unit of sound. So I got the word cat there, can be broken up into 3 phonemes or sounds, and that will be an example of phoneme awareness. The ability of students to be able to first hear and identify the individual sounds and phonemes so far, for instance, is cat. So cat has 3 phonemes, k, a, and t. All right, so at this point for the phonemic awareness, we as the educators need to teach the students to the most advanced level of phonemic awareness, since it is the foundation of reading and writing skills. Okay, we go on the next slide. It's about another source also emphasizes the reading success is comprised of several units, several skills, not only one skill. Look at the continuum. So the phonological awareness continuum is made up of 6 different skills. We have rhyming, alliteration, sentence segmentation, syllable segmentation, onset and rhyme. I just explained earlier. And then the last is phonemic awareness. So again, phonemic awareness exists under the umbrella of the phonological awareness as the most complex skill. So the students start practice how to identify and manipulate individual sound. All right, so you see that experts agreed that phonological awareness refers to the ability to identify and manipulate the individual sounds or phonemes that make up words. It is an important, since it is a foundation skill. It is a foundation skill, very, very crucial skill for reading and writing, which is we call literacy development. This one, phonological awareness, and it may support the high or the low literacy development of our student. And in this slide, I will come up with the question, this one. And the question is, how can digital literacy relate to phonological awareness and literacy development in language teaching atmosphere, mostly in the implementation of Kampus Merdeka in Indonesia and the Revolution Industry 4.0. Okay. Now let us see the next slide. That is about digital literacy. Now we move to another topic. Here is digital literacy. I come up as well with the definition from some experts. And the first is from Erstat et al. 2016. They said that digital literacy involves more than the ability to use software or operate a digital device. It includes a large variety of complex cognitive, motor, sociological, and emotional skills which users need to perform tasks effectively to critically evaluate digital media. If you see below for the other three experts, they will say sort of the same as what the first expert has said. I took another three from Martin and Grudziecki, 2006, and then I took from organization, not an author, and digital literacy. Okay, and then digital literacy framework 2018, and the last one from Jenkins et al. 2006. Overall, from those experts, we can say that this definition highlight the importance of digital literacy in today's society. In today's society, it deals with technology, and then emphasize the wide range of skills and competencies required to effectively navigate and participate in the digital world. All right. So let's go back to this slide to answer the question here. After you read and hear my explanation for my previous slide, so what is the answer for this? All right, I will help you again. Okay, the answer is yes. Phonological awareness and reading development can support digital literacy. They support each other. So the next question will be how they support each other. In this slide, I in purpose picked this image, this image with the word how and the magnifying glass in the letter O. So the students will be aware of pronouncing this word ow. Yeah, let's read how instead of ho. Yeah, this is still problematic to my students in Indonesia. Yeah, hopefully it will be a reminder for all of you. Well, okay, back to the main questions. So how can digital literacy support phonological awareness? Some research. Yes. Oh, okay. Some research has suggested that the same phonological processing skills that are important for reading development may also be important for understanding and using digital media, such as video games, social media, digital tools such as speech recognition software, interactive games. These also may help you to promote phonological awareness. I have some examples for speech recognition software. Here I got Siri and Bixby, also Google Voice. Those are speech recognition that can be found every day in our smartphones. Yeah, Siri is for the Apple users and Bixby is for Android users. They can tell your pronunciation. So whenever they are able to transfer, catch, and find the meaning of your pronunciation, it means your pronunciation is acceptable. So you can measure yourself this speech recognition application software. Reversely, when you say something to them and then they cannot catch, they cannot transfer, they cannot find the meaning of your vocabularies, it means your pronunciation is unacceptable or not yet acceptable. You have tried, you need big efforts to try again over and over and over again. Another speech recognition is vocaro.com, this one. Yeah, it is a useful tool, free on the internet, and the students can record their voice, and then they can copy the link and paste on the Google form. And next is the most famous, famous and wow, millions of users already familiar with this application. That is Elsa Speak. Also, research has been conducted using this kind of this application, Elsa Speak. Elsa Speak is an application that can help you improve your pronunciation. The wow things is that it can detect user pronunciation errors with accuracy level up to 95%. Wow, 95%. User can receive detailed feedback to correct their pronunciation errors. So you will receive percentage, so how far your pronunciation is correct or incorrect. If it is below 70, so you will be asked to retry and then try again until you got more than 70%. Okay. And then the next application is EPA, English Pronunciation Application. This one is more detailed in each and every 44 English sounds. It discusses, it provides every sounds, and they got 12 vowels, they got 8 diphthongs, and they got 24 consonants in the application. So when you want to be detailed to practice each of the sounds, you can go with this application. All right, next, the sources from YouTube. I took here amamenglish.com. It helps you to achieve fluency faster in speaking English. It helps you build confidence and focus on English in their daily life. This is very good. I very recommend this to my students. MMM English, or Emma, this woman is the creator, and then her name is Emma. She got a lot of technique in the website, and this one I come up with the one of the techniques. It called the imitation technique. So it got 3 steps. You listen first, and then you read, and then after that you imitate, or shadowing. And then reading aloud here, all around the world, blah 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 blah. So it is good for acknowledging how to pronounce new word. Next is social media. Okay, TikTok newscaster, it's good for accuracy, fluency, speed, and vocabulary. Instagram, which is full of challenges to enhance your pronunciation. And this application, software, and social media I come up with, it also supported by a study by Skolverket, the Swedish National Agency for Education. It found that a positive correlation between phonological awareness skills and digital skills in young children, but it's also can be applied in higher education students, especially in Indonesia. And then other studies have suggested that digital media may also be able to support the development of phonological awareness skills. For example, some researchers have argued that the use of digital tools such as speech recognition software and interactive games may help to promote phonological awareness in children with reading difficulties. All right, and then the next will be about 4 principles of digital literacy. The first about comprehension. The first is comprehension. Comprehension is the ability to extract implicit and explicit ideas from a media. The second is in the interdependence. It is how one media form connects with another, whether potentially, metaphorically, ideally, or literally. Due to the sheer abundance of media, it is necessary that media forms not simply coexist, but supplement one and another. The third is social factors. Sharing, uploading your work is no longer just a method of personal identity or distribution, but rather can create messages of its own. After you share, you share what, who shares what, to whom, through what channels, cannot only determine the long-term success of the media, but can create organic ecosystem of sourcing, sharing, storing, and ultimately repackaging media. The last is curation. All right. This principle is about when a video is collected in a YouTube channel, a poem maybe ends up in a blog post, or an infographic is pinned to Pinterest or stored in a learning board, there is also a kind of literacy, as well as the ability to understand the value of information and keep it in a way that makes it accessible and useful long term. So be careful to anything that you upload in YouTube, for example, or in your social media, Facebook, Instagram, it will be a very long-term memory, and I think we are not the one who can erase that. So be careful for that. And next is, why is digital literacy important? It is because of digital literacy enhances students' engagement. They can work in collaboration, as I stated in number 3, and then it improves academic performance. It also applies to most subject areas and fields. Therefore, it can be assumed that digital literacy is important as technology and digital media have become integral parts of daily life. So that is the point why digital literacy is very important. Examples of digital literacy skills. This variation, checking emails, sending emails, responding emails, and then searching, browsing in Google search engine, and use online search to complete assignment or project. All right, so those can be the variation for teachers to explore students' literacy skills in the form of project-based learning. Okay, and the next is about concept of digital literacy. The concept of digital literacy can be broken down into how many different skills and competency? I got 6. The first one is access. Access is the ability to access digital technologies and information, manage the ability to effectively manage digital information, and then integrate the ability to integrate digital technologies, evaluate. It relates to the ability to critically evaluate digital information. So we cannot accept everything from the social media. We need to have critical thinking, to be critical, to accept everything from the social media. And then communicate is the ability to communicate effectively through digital media. By by developing these skills and competencies, individuals or our students can become more digitally literate and better equipped, yeah, to navigate the digital world. They can also access and use digital resources effectively. All right. Now I would like to come to the curriculum that is already implemented in Indonesia. It is called Kampus Merdeka. It is term used in higher education sector in Indonesia. Kampus Merdeka refers to a government initiative aimed at promoting innovation and excellence in higher education by providing greater autonomy and flexibility to universities and other higher education institutions in Indonesia. The second point perhaps can be explained by these 8 programs. The 8 programs in Kurikulum Merdeka. The first one is Pertukaran Pelajar or Student Exchange. It refers to a program in which students from one educational institution travel to another institution, either domestically or internationally. The second one is magang atau praktek kerja or internship, refers to a program in which students or recent graduates gain practical work experience by working for a company or organization for a limited period of time. Mengajar di sekolah or teaching in schools refers to the profession of teaching students in a formal education setting. And research, research refers to the systematic and rigorous investigation of a topic or question. Proyek kemanusiaan or humanitarian projects. It is aimed at improving the quality of life for people who are affected by poverty, disasters, conflicts, or other humanitarian crises. Kegiatan wirausaha or entrepreneurial activity, which involves identifying and exploiting business opportunities to create new products, services, or processes that meet the needs of consumers. Studi or proyek independent refers to independent study or project. And then membangun desa or KKN thematic refers to the community service activities that are aimed at improving the quality of life for people in rural areas or underserved communities. Those are 8 programs in Kurikulum Merdeka. Okay, despite these efforts, whole programs, the 8 programs that I have explained, there are still significant challenges to promoting digital literacy in Indonesia. One key issue is the lack of infrastructure in some areas, particularly in remote and rural regions, which can limit access to technology and internet. On the last picture, you can see that perhaps the students or the teacher got the laptop, but they don't have the connection. So they need to find one spot that has a good signal and can try to browse or search using internet for their learning process. Overall, digital literacy is an important area of development for Indonesia. Okay, and then, okay, we go to this slide again. Yeah. Overall, for this presentation, for my presentation, again, digital literacy is very important. Yeah, let me briefly restate this my main points. The first one is reading. Yeah, reading is something we do every day. We know that for sure. It is imperative that the students understand that spoken words are made up of individual sounds. This is called phonological awareness. Research has demonstrated that phonological awareness is a strong predictor of reading success. At the same time, the era of technology has also brought challenges. Students must literate in a range of skills. By embracing these challenges and opportunities, and by harnessing our creativity and innovation, we can create a better world for ourselves and future generation. So let's be bold, be daring, and seize the day. Thank you so much for having me. Have a good day. Back to you, my moderator.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ibu Dr. Sukma Nur Ardini, for your presentation that was truly enlightening and informative. Yeah, yeah, dear participants of familiar with the concepts and of oracy and literacy. Yeah, so oracy is concerned with the oral competence or development of the English learners. The oracy skill include the ability of speaking and listening to enable the learners to communicate and collaborate effectively. Dr. Sukma explained the concepts of phonological awareness, that is the ability to differentiate sounds in syllable and also word levels. She also brought us to learning the concepts of literacy associated with the digital era or digital communication. It is interesting that the two topics we have just followed are related in the same concepts of digital language, that is language in the new age or era. The digital literacy competence determines the English learners whether or not they will later engage in the social communication, such as to create, communicate, collaborate, and solve the social problems. We still have time for questions and answers by our special speakers. Yeah. And then now let Lynn or Dr. Sukma. Okay, for participants, you may directly raise hand by clicking the raise hand button, or you may write down the questions on the chat box, please. Any questions, dear participants?
No, ma'am. Yeah, they seem to be clear for the two lectures from Dr. Sukma and also Dr. Nathan. Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Jafar.
Probably for the participants from DIMSU, do you have any questions to both speakers? Okay. Yeah, it seems that there is no questions for both speakers. So if there is no questions, yeah, I conclude that all of you have learned well the two important topics related to the digital era. So both have a lot to do with the successful and effective communication in the millennial or digital era. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this enlightening and informative lecturers. Yeah, I hope all of you have enjoyed and benefited from the presentations and discussion of our distinguished speakers. I would like to thank them once again for their valuable contributions for making these lectures successful. Thank you for all participants who have joined these lectures. Please give big applause for us. Yeah. Okay, and then see you again in the third session of the lecture series next week on the same time. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you, Ma'am Cici.
Yeah.
Dr. Manilin.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you so
Manilin and Dr.
much.
Sukma.
Congratulations to all of us.
Bye.
Thank you, Bu Sukma.
Most welcome, Pak Jafar.
Thank you, Pak Jafar.
Ya, Bu.
Thank you,
Cici.
Pak Jafar, on cam for the whole time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm
On
honored.
time with the students in class, actually, Bu Sukma.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What
Yeah.
class, Pak Jafar?
What class, Pak Jafar? Translation, maybe?
Translation.
Oh, I see.
Translation.
Translation beda ya
Digital
sama
translation.
digital translation. Wow.
So all
Wow.
students,
Sudah literate
all,
ini teknologi.
yeah, all translation students join this lecture series. Thank you, Pak Jafar.
Thank you, Pak Jafar, Bu Cici.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ya.
thank you.
Terima
Thank
kasih,
you,
Bu Sukma, Bu
everyone.
Cici.
Yeah.
Ya.
Have a great day, everyone.
Great day too. Bye.